show. We come to you every week from our kitchen here in Bangkok, don't we?
Yes.
Yes. And this, of course, I'm always joined by my very beautiful, cute, cheeky mother.
Hello, everyone.
Some of you might know her as the lady that likes to burn her son-in-law with very spicy curries.
Yes, yes.
We're so glad you guys could join us, and you know, we are live, so please let us know where you're watching from. Say hi. We love to know a little bit about you guys as well, and make sure you're asking lots of questions because we can answer them in real time, can't we?
Yes.
Yes, and if anything's burning, also please let us know about
Yes.
that. That would be good. So what are we making today, Mum?
We're making today is a prawn wrapping the blanket.
Prawn wrapped in blankets.
Yes.
Gung hom pa, right?
Yes,
in
gung
Thai.
hom pa, yes, in
and
Thai.
what else?
And making a money bag.
Money
Thong.
bags. That's right. We're making things with funny names today, aren't we?
Yes.
Actually, we're making these dishes because it's Chinese New Year next week, and these are the sorts of party food celebration dishes
Yes.
that we would make for our
Yes.
Chinese New Year party.
Yes.
All right. So, what should we do first? Should we do the sauce? Your
Yes,
special sauce.
the sauce
first?
for the prawn.
Yeah, so the great thing about these two party foods is that you only need to make the one dipping sauce. So why
Yes.
don't you tell everyone what we need to do for that, Mum?
Yeah.
What's up? What do we do first?
We just put sugar.
Sugar, yeah, and you want to
Yeah.
heat that up, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll turn that on for you. Yeah, so in here,
Yes. Make
okay.
sugar.
Just white sugar, yeah.
Yes, and vinegar.
Yep, white, just normal white vinegar,
Normal
right?
white vinegar.
Yeah.
And the fish sauce.
And fish sauce. So this is going to make like a sort of sweet sour. You're going to add some chili a bit later, but it's going to be
Yes.
like a sweet sour dipping
Yes.
sauce.
Yes.
And you know what I like about this sauce, Mum, is you
Yep.
could make like a really big batch, right?
Yes.
And then you could just leave it in the fridge for what, like 2 weeks? You
Yes,
could use
one-
it
yeah, you
as a
can use
salad
it.
dressing or a dipping sauce
Yes.
for anything.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's really versatile, this one. I
Yeah.
like it.
And after that, finish that, you just have to do the flour with the water
Okay,
to do the
right.
prawn.
So we're gonna do the prawns in blankets first.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to make some. We're gonna need to make a flour
yes,
paste first,
yes.
right?
First
okay.
is flour
Yeah.
and the water.
Okay.
Pour in
Yeah.
like that.
And you
And
mix
you
that
just mix
together.
it up like that.
And the reason you want to do that first is because you want to let it rest for a few minutes.
Rest
don't
for a
you?
minute, yeah.
because that's going to make it really sticky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. Make the set.
So it's almost like making like a little glue.
Yeah, like a
Little-
glue. Yes,
yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're on to the spring roll wrappers.
Yep.
So spring roll wrappers, we actually did a video last year that you guys might have seen where we made homemade spring roll wrappers. So if you're interested in finding out about that, just scroll through on my Facebook page in the video section and you can find a previous Facebook Live where we made the homemade one. But if you're buying these from your supermarket, you're generally going to find them in the freezer, aren't you?
Yeah, in the freezer, yes.
So what's the best way to get them ready, like defrosted?
So the process, you have to take it out ahead and you leave it on the room temperature.
Yeah.
Right? You want to
Yeah.
put room temperature
Yeah.
and defrost it because why you cannot tear it off because
right.
they're freezing.
And
like.
it's you know, trying to defrost it in the microwave or anything like that,
No.
it dries
No,
it
no.
out. Doesn't
No,
work.
no.
So plan ahead of time and get
Yes.
these out
Yeah.
defrosting. Sometimes I put them from the freezer into
Yeah.
the fridge
when
the night before.
When they defrost already,
Yeah.
you can back in the freeze to when you're ready.
So you can leave these in the fridge until
Yeah,
they're ready.
ready,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, but the key is just to plan
Yes.
ahead and get those ready. So these are, you can get these in
No, that's right.
oh yeah, so that's
Now the
bubbling,
sauce,
isn't it?
The bubble.
Yeah.
You see that the sugar start to dissolve now.
So we only need to cook this sauce until just the sugar dissolves, right?
Yes, yes.
All right, well, I'm just going to, while you're doing that, I'm going to check and see if we have any questions yet from anyone. And let's see who else is joining us today.
Okay, should be dissolved now.
Does that look good?
Yep, look good.
And then you just want to let that cool down, don't
cool
you?
down.
All right,
Yes,
well, I'll
so
take that
finish
off.
now. Yep.
Okay, I'll turn that up. Let's see who we've got joining us today. Okay, we've got
can we leave
Denise
it
Hall.
here?
Okay, yeah, I'll pop it over here. How about
Yes,
that?
make
Yeah.
a plate.
So we've got Denise Hall saying she loves watching you cook. That's nice.
Thank you, yeah.
We've got Michelle Simpson joining us from Perth, Western Australia. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. And let me see if we've got any questions. Oh, Catherine from Palmerston North in New Zealand. Lovely. And any questions? Oh yeah, so Kevin's asking if he can know the amounts that we're using. Kevin, we've already posted the recipe up on my website, so marionskitchen.com/recipes. You can go there now and grab the recipe and follow along, or you can print that off after the show. So don't worry, you won't miss out on the quantities. All right. So what's next, Mum?
Now you cut the spring roll on half first.
So these can come. The wrappers can come large and small, right?
Can do large and small, yes.
So the large ones, I always find the large ones are too big to make anything.
Yes, too big, yes. So you have to cut it.
So you have to cut it. So how are you going to cut it for these ones?
First, on half.
Yeah.
Half.
So you're going to make little squares,
yeah, little square.
Yeah.
And turn around, and you might get like that.
Cut it in half again.
Yes.
Okay.
Like that. Right. And this one, you have to peel the spring roll skin. See, after dissolve, you peel
These
easy.
are really nice and soft. They're lovely.
Soft.
So why have you got this all set up like this over here? Why
Because
are we going to trouble?
when you take it out ahead, you have to put the cover. That's why they dry.
So that's a really that's one of the biggest tips, guys, for when you're making spring rolls with these wrappers. Is if you just left them out on the board while you're rolling everything up, they get dry, and then they don't stick together, and then the whole thing gets a bit of a mess. So what you need to do is line a plate with cling film, and then put your separate all the spring roll wrappers, and then cover them with cling film again, and then that way you're just sort of reaching in there each time to pull the spring roll wrapper out.
Because you don't want them to dry.
No, you don't want them to dry at all. Okay, so we've got those organised. Now what?
Now, we don't need this one?
No, we can put those here.
Okay. But ready? Now you're ready. Get that one like this, and you make like this. You pick up the prawn.
So can you tell us about these prawns, Mum? So you've got sort of a fairly decent medium-sized prawn there, because you want someone to be able to pick this up and dip it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've also got it on kitchen paper towel.
We want to, when you clean the prawn, before you do it, you have to put up the towel, because we want to dry a little bit. We don't want water on the prawn.
This is the biggest thing when you're deep frying or anything, or you want anything to become crispy, because moisture is your worst enemy when it comes to crunch. So prawns can be quite wet, and so we dry them on paper towel before we start folding them up. That's right, isn't it?
So now,
let's go. Let's start rolling. I will see if we've got any other questions while you're doing that. Okay, so so the little tail's going to be like the handle.
The tail has to be come out, like that, right? And put that like that. Just roll it up like that, right? So you make sure they close up nicely.
There you go. And pop that there.
Pop it up, because you're gonna deep fry it.
Okay, I'm going to see if we've got any other questions while we're here, Mum. Let's see. Oh, Marion Bleeth would like to know, can we adopt her? Do we have space for another person?
Yes.
Let's see, any other questions? No, we've got lots of you joining us from so many places. Brisbane. So Belle's asking, are these gluten-free? No, they're not. If you wanted to make these with rice paper, could you do that, Mum? You know the Vietnamese rice paper? I'll tell you what, Belle, you could try doing this with the Vietnamese rice paper. So soften the rice paper and then wrap the prawn in the rice paper. You shouldn't need a flour glue for the rice paper, because it's very sticky. And that way that one would be gluten-free. Because these are wheat. The spring roll wrappers have flour in them. And that's for Denise as well. So Denise, you should try. Denise is also asking about the gluten-free. So try with the rice paper. Okay, looks like we're doing pretty well. So Mum, what can we do? How far in advance can we make these? Can we freeze them? What can we do?
I don't think it's nice to freeze them without you do,
So you would make them fresh and then put them in the fridge, cover them up, put them in the fridge, and then you could cook them that night? I would actually probably freeze them. Actually, do you know what I would do? I would have you over for dinner the night before my party. I would get you to help me make them, and then I'd put them in the freezer. for the next day.
Yeah. No, this does not take long, not too hard to roll up.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
And see, this is so much easier than a spring roll, because with a spring roll you have to stir fry the noodles and chop all the vegetables. Like, you know, this is. But I think the key here also is you want to use a really good prawn, because there's nowhere to hide here. It's just that beautiful fresh prawn flavour and the crispy spring roll wrapper.
Yeah.
Okay, so that looks pretty good, Mum. I think we've got a fairly good selection here. Should we move on to making the money bags?
Yep.
Should we make the money bags?
Yep.
All right, I'll make some space for you. Move this away. All right, so I love these little money bags. They're also a great party food. Now, for the money bags, before we get to the filling, we're just going to make some little spring onion ties, like little spring onion ropes, and they're going to tie the money bags together at the top. So I'm going to take just a bunch of spring onions here, and I need just this green part. I'm just going to get my water heating up as well.
And the oil heat up?
Yeah. Get that heating. Okay, so I just want to cut off this whole bit there. And don't throw those away, so you can keep that chop it up for a stir fry or like anything.
Or you can chop it up.
Oh, and chop up a little bit and put it in the mix.
Mini bag.
Yes.
The mixture. Yes.
Yes.
It's up to you if you like.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Like that,
you probably don't want all of that though.
No,
probably just
you
a
don't
few.
want that, no.
Yeah. So I'm going to put these into some hot water, and they're going to soften and become like our little strings for the top of the money bags.
Okay.
And so why don't we do the filling while we're waiting for that?
Okay. Now the prawn.
So you've just got some
prawn just roughly chopped. Yeah.
See, the whole point about these sorts of party foods, I guess, is that you want people to know that they're homemade.
Yes.
So you want to, you know, leave a little bit of a chunk of
prawn.
prawn.
Yeah, don't have to be.
And that way you're going to get that pop of sort of prawn flavour when you bite into it. So pork mince, prawn. Great.
And water chestnut.
Water chestnuts. Now I'm going to get that oil heating up too. And so the water chestnuts, Mum, if you couldn't get a hold of those, so you find those in a tin, don't you?
You can find it in
water
a tin.
chestnuts in the Asian aisle or from the Asian grocer, and you can just chop them up.
Chop it up, yeah.
If you don't have water chestnuts, they're just in there for a little bit of crunch. You could add some peanuts if you wanted to, or even some shiitake mushrooms for a bit of different flavour.
What you call that? Yeah, just like a cashew nut.
Oh, cashew nut, yeah.
Cashew nut.
So it's, you know, or you could just leave them out altogether.
Yeah, you can.
We've made them without.
Or you can out without just chestnut, maybe no nut, just the prawn.
Just the prawn and the pork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else are you putting in here?
White pepper.
So why? I mean, I love. Why are we using white pepper instead of the black pepper?
No, this one we like the Asian. We like to use the white pepper, not the black.
I do find with Thai cooking in particular, and a lot of Chinese cooking, the white pepper is a far more subtle, you know, sort of spice than the black pepper, and more widely used than the black pepper.
For the Thai food or Chinese, rather white pepper.
Yeah.
Pepper, we got the flavors and you know.
Okay, and we want some salt as well, a little bit of salt and some soy sauce. So we're using light soy sauce, yeah, which is a general all-purpose Chinese soy sauce.
Just a few flavor, you know. Yeah. And you
now, if you did want to learn all about all the different soy sauces, dark, light, the differences, Japanese soy sauce, we did talk about soy sauce in a couple of Facebook Live. No, when was it? Last week or the week before? In our Facebook Live last week or the week before. You have to go back and check. But you can go back and watch that if you're interested in learning a bit more about the different soy sauces.
So it doesn't have to be too much. Just make sure you can see they go together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to give it a good mix until it sort of gets sticky.
Yeah, go together.
So
the
usually
sauce
you get
and
your hand
water chestnut.
Usually you get your hand in there and throw it around, don't you?
Yeah. Okay. Should be good now.
Okay, great. That looks good. I'm going to see if we've got any questions at the moment. Oh, so Jan has made our sweet and sour chicken from the other day. Awesome, Jan. I'm so glad it worked out. Great. Someone is having our pad thai this week. Thank you very much. It's Servan. Oh, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm really sorry. Servandani. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but thank you very much for having my pad thai this week. And that reminds me, so you know, our kitchen here, our videos that we get to cook for you guys, our Facebook Live, all of it is possible because of your support through my Marion's Kitchen food range. And I'm so incredibly passionate about my Marion's Kitchen products. My mum and I design the products ourselves, the curry paste, you know, the sauces, everything, and we're so thrilled and, you know, excited that we can share that with you guys. So here's a little clip to show you a few different ways you can use some of our packs. Okay, so if you are after any of those recipes that you saw, if anything there took your fancy, there are all the recipes for the different dishes in that clip on my website. And you can find those kits in Australia in the Asian section at Coles and Woolworths, independent supermarkets. If you're in the US, try Walmart or Amazon. Okay, so are we ready to make our money bags? Awesome. Okay, so we want to take...
Flour, you don't need?
No, we don't need. So, I'll just... So these little spring onion stalks, so they've been soaking in that water and they've come out, and you can see they're really pliable. So if we didn't soak them in the water and we just tried to wrap them up fresh, they would break if we tried to sort of move them around. So you can see it's like a little strong little rope there. So that's good. All right, so how do we make these little money bags, Mum? I have one too. Right, so you just want a little bit in the center, right? I actually find it's easier to do this with a knife. So, right, so you're just pulling it together.
Yep.
And then we take one of these. Yep. So squish that. And then you take your spring onion. And then that just ties it up. And there you go. So you have your little nice little parcel. So I always find whenever you're doing dumplings or any of these sorts of things, I find it's quite easy if you're getting a knife and almost just sort of spreading it onto there. Now you don't want too much because that will make it burst. So once again, you're just gathering it up, pushing it together. Now these are infinitely easier than spring rolls also because there's no tricky folding involved. You just sort of squish it all up, don't you, Mum? Alright, and then that wraps together around here. There you go. So I like to trim these edges so that we've got cute little... There we go. There you go. So there are your little money bags. Very easy. And so once again, you know, you can make these in advance, keep them in the fridge, and then just fry them up when you're ready to go for your party. We just need a couple of drinks, Mum. Where's the red wine today, huh? Where is that red wine? We haven't done a very good job with that, have we? All right, so just a few more here, guys, and I'll just see. So Megan is asking, what type of prawns are they? So for...
This one is
banana prawns?
Yeah, banana prawns.
They're both banana prawns?
Both banana prawns.
Yeah, so they were both banana prawns, but we got a larger size for the prawns in blankets, and we just used the smaller, cheaper prawns for the money bags because you're just mincing them up anyway. Okay, so this is looking good. And then I'll cut that. And so, Mum, once these are all ready, we've got them all here on the board. And then let me see if we've got any other questions before we get cooking. What are you using? Kerry's asking, what are you using to stick the spring roll wrappers? Okay, so if you've just joined us, we made a glue earlier, and that was with plain flour and water, and that was to fix together the spring roll wrappers on the prawns. And with the money bags, we're just smushing, like squeezing them together, and then just wrapping them with the spring roll wrapper. Sorry, with the spring onion. So there's no glue for that one. Right, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I'm going to turn this down a little bit, this oil, because I think it's getting quite hot. Yep. Let me see, what else have we got? Hannah says frozen prawns. Totally. Frozen prawns would be really good, especially in the money bag mixture, because you don't need to have a, I guess, a super fresh prawn for that, because it's going to be mixed through with some other things. So that's all good. Jessica's asking minced beef or chicken. Totally. So you could do minced chicken, just chicken on its own if you're not a seafood fan, beef as well. It's really versatile. So any of those sort of minces that you want to do is just fine. Okay, so I think we should get cooking over here, Mum.
Yep, the oil's cooked.
So with the oil, I'm going to just grab a wooden spoon. And we are using vegetable oil to do our deep frying, and that's because it has a higher smoking or burning point, so it won't burn before it gets to the right temperature. And the way we test to see if the oil is ready, you could use a digital thermometer, which would be great, or you can just use a wooden spoon and pop that in, and you're waiting for the oil to get those little bubbles. So you can see those little bubbles. That tells me that the oil is ready to go. All right. So I'm going to put these prawns in. Is that okay, Mum?
Yeah.
All right. They just go in there, and you should see that sizzle straight away. You want to see those bubbles. Put a few of these in. Okay, and you want to do this in batches. Yeah. So you look after that over there, Mum. So the key with the oil here is you want to do this in batches so that the temperature of the oil doesn't drop too much. If you put too much in your oil, temperature of the oil will drop, and then you'll start to get oily food. Because if you keep your oil at the right temperature, it'll just sear the outside and it won't soak into your food. Looks very good. Smells very good too, Mum. Okay, so we just want to, what do we need, about 2-3 minutes in there, just until everything's cooked through? Yeah. Oops, I'll leave that there for you. And I will start to get the rest of our little dishes out. Oh, and just while you're doing that, Mum, I was going to tell everyone about this super way to use up any leftover spring roll wrappers. So if you've got any of these leftover squares, so say you've got, oh, they look nice, don't they? Look at that. What a nice golden colour, yum. Okay, so if you guys have any of these leftover squares of spring roll wrapper once you've made your prawns or your money bags, you can just put them onto a baking tray and brush them with a little bit of egg white, and then sprinkle them with some sea salt, paprika, or sesame seeds, or any other kind of spices that you like, and pop them into the oven, and then you get these amazing crisps. So, you know, just like 180 degrees, 5 minutes or so until they're golden. See how crunchy they are? And instead of buying those fancy crackers that cost a ton at the supermarket, you can make your own. All right. Now, whenever we're doing these kinds of dishes, I always get people asking about, can you do this in the oven instead of in the oil? So you can, but let me just show you the difference. So when you're doing it in the oven, the heat doesn't quite get around something that, like these flat spring roll wrappers are fine because they're flat, but when it's bunched up like this, you sort of get the tops getting all brown and it doesn't evenly cook around here, whereas you'll see in the oil you kind of get an even golden brown. So if you don't mind about the colour, you know, you can do that in the oven, but if you would like a sort of even golden colour, and you know, you can do it in the oil. So there you go, that's the difference between if you're going to do it in the oven or in the oil. Okay, well, we are nearly done. Let's have a look at your, so what do you want to do with your sauce, Mum? How do we finish that off? So you've got some sliced chilies. Now you've sliced these and left the seeds out, so it's going to be very mild.
Yeah.
So that's good.
When you're eating, you can eat the chili because the Thai people, they like it with the chili, spicy a little bit, you know.
Okay.
So you can eat the chili with the sauce, with the spring roll, you know, and the money bag.
Okay, great.
You know?
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so you put the, so I've got some chili in the little bowl here. You want to put the sauce in that one?
Yeah.
Just pour it in. Look at that, such a lovely colour. That's so nice, Mum. Yeah. And then you can use that same sauce for both the prawns and the money bags, right?
Money bag, yes.
Let me see if we've got any questions while we're here. Oh, Denise is eating our sweet and sour chicken while you're watching this. Awesome, glad you liked it, Denise.
That's nice.
Let's see, any other questions? Right, so if we didn't get to your question during the show, don't worry, we'll come back and answer them later. So if you guys are interested in any more recipes, you can find me on Instagram, Marion's Kitchen. Of course, you can keep following on the Facebook page. We've always got new recipes here. And we hope you can join us every week. We love chatting to you guys and we love having you on our show. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got. So we've got our cute little money bags here, delish. I'm gonna have one of those almost immediately. And then our beautiful crunchy prawns. I'm gonna have one of these though. Thanks for joining us, guys. I hope you enjoy these recipes. Let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Post us some photos of any recipes that you guys enjoy, and please let us know if there are any recipes you're interested in us cooking for you. I'm gonna have one of these. It's good. Very nice. Right, you have a prawn. Yeah, you have that one.
I have a prawn?
Yeah. You better have one before all the camera guys come and eat them all.
Beautiful prawn.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. The sauce, the chili.